It's estimated that Canadians junk about 8 million appliances a year, many of them repairable. On reflection, it seems kind of odd. After all, we don't junk, say, a vehicle because it needs a water pump. We first ran into Frank last season. He was demonstrating CFC recovery from a fridge under repair. Frank told us that a lot of his appliances came from people's front lawns, and often his cost to restore a major appliance was just a few bucks. We'd arranged with Frank to do an informal survey of some stoves, washers, dryers, and fridges to see how many were repairable. For the heck of it, Frank picked up a washing machine the night before from someone's lawn.
How often do you do that, Frank?
Look, almost every day I'll see something in the street with dollar signs. And almost every day, and as you can see, my van, even though it's nicely packed, I do have a little room here.
Always save room for a washer.
And I save room for a washer, a dryer, and believe it or not, the full-size fridge, even if the doors come open. But if I see something good, for me it's not garbage. For me it's dollar signs. You'd be surprised how little, how small some of the problems can be.
We're gonna see smoke?
You might.
It's hard to say. Everyone is a surprise package.
Okay, so one of the biggest problems, one of the problems of this machine, it's not spinning. Okay, now customer says not spinning. Oh, that's the transmission gone. $500 to repair. I'll just throw it up in the garbage. Well, this is honest to goodness truth. This machine was thrown out in the street because it's not spinning. And look what it is. A broken belt. A $9 or $6 item. And this machine was thrown away. Just an example of something that could have ended up in the dump. Something as simple as a broken belt. What a good example.
Frank spends his time on the road repairing appliances. Rick is in the business of rebuilding and restoring them, so he's happy to see machines in any condition. Dead machines are mined for usable parts. Boy, has Rick got parts. He's also good at finding uses for the parts. This pile of machines outside was awaiting disassembly, so we found some good props.
If you ever wonder where your socks went, well, a good possible place is right inside this machine. People will tend to overload. What can happen is the sock can go over the lip of the inner tub and end up in the spin cycle. Now, if you look at this machine here, it's a very common problem. It's what we call your classic problem, where your sock will actually end up getting into the auto drum, down this tube, through here, and get stuck in that pump. Sock gets stuck in that pump, it jams it. The pump is connected directly to the motor. Motor heats up, smokes up. Customer thinks, oh my God, the whole machine is kaput. Get rid of it. Don't even spend the service call to find out what's wrong with it. And very much like you saw inside there with the broken belt, the same thing here. Now, water coming in your floor, ruining my floor. Oh, this must be completely rusted. No good repair. Hey, it's probably something very simple. Is a $20 or $15 rubber center seal. Okay. Now this can give the effect of the total outer tub being completely rusted and not repairable. Yep. So that's another interesting little problem with leaks, which sound or look very like a big problem, yet it's not.
It was handy having some other service people there too. We noticed them nodding in agreement with Frank's points. At least he wasn't making this up.
This lip will rip, leaving a groove between this the drum and the actual back plate, and lint, particles, socks will drip into here. Now what could happen? Now here I've been told that the motor is seized. Now lint got around that motor, didn't allow it to cool down, overheated the bearings, and now you're into about a $150 job. So it's very important, okay? So it's very important not only for saving energy, but to save your machine in the long run, to after every drying cycle, to clean your lint filter properly. Other reasons why people throw their stoves away is because they're so tired of changing fuses. For every time they're doing their turkey or their chicken on a Saturday evening, fuses go. And what do you know? Husband has to take them out to dinner. However, it may not be a very, very big problem. But a very simple chopstick with a piece of sandpaper in the end can do marvelous. You decide which fuse is your oven, which fuse keeps blowing on you. Sandpaper, chopstick, get in there, clean it.
Turn the power off to the stove first.
Yes, very important. Main fuse is downstairs. Turn the power off for safety. And just go in there. Now, how many people up there, or how many people have said, gee, I'm going to throw my fridge away because I get nothing but water on my crisper, water on the floor, and it's really, there must be something terribly, terribly wrong with the fridge. But in actual fact, a very, very common problem is the plugged drain tube. Because the frost-free fridges, every 8 hours or so, depending, of course, on the make and style, will defrost. And water will come out of that fridge. So it's very, very common for a fridge to have water. That's why you have your evaporator pin. But the other common thing is that dirt does get into your drain tube, and peas are famous for that, of getting into here and clogging up your drain tube. Now here is where my little tool comes in handy. Piece of pipe, plastic at the end, is so that I know where to put my mouth, so I don't get any germs. And you take a piece of pipe, you put it right by it, and you take a big breath. Now, I was going to say, if you don't smoke, it's a good thing, but take a big breath, and I think Rick had a little bit of dirt in there, which I've just cleared, so this fridge is completely cleaned.
Wastenot expects that some perfectly good machines end up on the front lawn from fear of repair people.
I don't know if I should be saying this, but there are some crooked people out there. But there are some nice and honest appliance repairmen that all they're really interested in is making a living.
Yeah.
And they like the freedom.
People even know there are some crooked people even in politics, say.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, every place.
Well, yeah, crooked people every place. But, I mean, look at my face, an innocent guy, ain't I? All I want to do is I like the freedom of working on my own. I like driving around. And I've picked this as an occupation. I mean, I used to be a bank manager. And here I am doing appliance repairs. I have a university degree. Here I am doing appliance repairs. And I love every minute of it.
Frank and his buddies promote